That's just the THX logo.
Did you just read a comment?
Yeah, I looked at chat. They said we can hear you.
Oh, so we are on.
No, we're not on. Dude.
Oh, I see. It's
the way OBS works, my mic is piping through. So now they're laughing that I'm explaining to you guys. Anyways, I guess we'll just start.
Let's just start.
Yeah, we'll just do it. Here we go. Oh.
Let's do a countdown where we all count together.
Let me make sure, but we're already on, so.
We're way past that point, Darren.
Yeah.
That ship sailed.
All right, let's start a countdown now.
Okay, ready?
Count in unison.
Ready?
10 down to 1.
What number?
10.
Okay, ready?
I'm not doing it.
Can you count down to when we...
Like that, Darren, you're not going to fucking do this.
Can you count down to when we start counting?
You think Darren's going to count, bro?
3? Okay, I'm going to 3, 2, 1. Then on 1, we count down to 10. Okay. Hi, everybody. How's it going?
What's up, chat?
Hi, Whoretown. How you doing? Friends?
Yeah, Whoretown.
My chat.
Whoretown? They're still Whoretown, right?
Yeah.
Oh, hey, we're on, so I can pour some wine now. Oh, yeah.
Is anyone in Whoretown named Hortense?
Do we have any fans named Hortense? Hortensio? Hortense? When do you think was the last time somebody named somebody Hortense?
Probably this year.
You think so?
Sure, why not?
Seems like an old school name.
Probably.
There's billions of people in the world.
That's true. Ugh, still.
People out there name their kid Hortense. Name their girl Hortense.
Can't hear Darren. Oh, hold on. Now they said they can't hear you. Jesus Christ. Okay. See, I'm new at this. Sorry, everybody. I'm having a host tonight, and I'm,
You're doing great.
I can turn myself up.
Well, it's not up. It's about can't hear. I don't have the audio in there. Let me... Can you guys talk a couple times, though?
Check.
Yeah, okay. All right. What the fuck? I hear... Afro Shark says I hear everyone just fine. Can hear it just sounds like they're in a barrel. Okay. So, I will turn it up a little bit.
Like they're in a barrel.
They're in a cat. There's some chaos in chat because some people can't hear them. Some people say fine. Some people say barrel. So
It's hard to know if you're being trolled or not.
Yeah, well, I always just go with.
If I was in chat, I would just constantly be writing. I can't hear you. Can't hear you.
Yeah.
That's what I say now. It's like if you can hear me, say Timmy, we can't hear you. I normally start with that. And anyways, okay, we're all good. We're all good. All right, cool. Let's start. This is what it is, anyways. All right.
Are you okay, man? You seem like you're freaking out.
No, I'm fine. I just wasn't prepared until earlier today to host myself, and until about 10 minutes ago, wasn't prepared to do the Zoom myself. But now we're good. So yeah. And, my face turned red. And I was like, God, I hope my face doesn't turn red tonight. And then I got stressed out, and that's when all the blood vessels popped. So this should help.
Make it more red.
Absolutely, it'll make it more red. Yeah, I'm just kidding. I'll be fucking purple.
What is this meeting about? I forget.
What?
What is this meeting about?
Yeah, why did you summon us here? What, you wanted to say something important about someone's behavior?
Yeah, we're going to kick out Sam, right? Isn't that what?
Oh, all right.
Wouldn't that be amazing? If we kicked out Sam.
Guys, let's weigh the pros and cons of keeping Sam. Everyone has to go around and say a pro, and then everyone has to say a con, and then we'll figure it out. Darren,
a bad thing.
A pro to keeping him in a con.
A pro and a con.
A pro to keeping him and a con to keeping him.
Well, I can't really think of any pros.
Right. That's going to be the hard part.
Yeah.
All right, well then 2 cons.
Oh my. Okay, good. Thank you.
Isn't he kind of the muscle?
Fucking baby that's behind him.
The baby's a big con. That's a huge con.
This is Sam. Like, oh, hey guys. Okay. Oh, you can't see him. You can't see my baby.
Yeah. That was infuriating. Like, let me show the baby for attention, but I'll cover the face. Good God. Welcome back to Dads on the Internet. So yeah, that's a big one. Another one is he stinks. He smells bad. So that's two. Even though
Which is weird that we
smell
can.
him through the Zoom.
And it's weird. Yeah, it's weird that we can still tell.
Yeah. I feel like I can see the smell. You know.
And also, when he's not here, our heads get to be bigger.
Right. That's a yeah.
Get more of the money makers, right?
I guess let's do it this way. You have to list a pro for kicking him out and a con for keeping him. You know what I mean?
That is so funny.
So a pro for kicking him out, less baby, and a con for keeping him would be, we'd have more baby.
Oh, I'm starting to feel like we're being too mean, but we're probably not.
No,
I'm a bad barometer for that. Some people are saying in chat, all caps, less baby.
No.
I had a question I thought of today that might be an interesting, weird conversation starter. So you guys remember when we did that sketch comedy show, like on TV and stuff? Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. So I was thinking today, like, what's a character you really like from any sketch on the show or whatever that somebody else played that you feel like you could have had fun playing too? It doesn't necessarily mean you did. It doesn't mean that you think the other person did a bad job or anything. Just like, what's a character that someone else did that you think you would have had a good time doing?
Take it away, Timmy. What do you got?
Well, the only answer I had right off the top was one that actually happened once. Is one time live, Darren couldn't be there, but we did. I think it was just me, Sam, and Trevor for that show, and I did the jerking off guy. And of course, Darren's amazing at that, but I had a lot. It's really fun to be that guy and just be as gross and slow as possible, Mm-hmm. That's a lot of fun.
Darren, what's going on in your brain right now as you're hearing all this? What are you feeling? What are you thinking?
I'm listening. It is a lot of fun to play. It's literally, it's the best sketch to do because I literally have very little lines.
Oh, right.
It's all just quiet, and I just know it beat for beat. And so you just get to keep like adding stuff to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just remember it was fun to do. But I mean, it's not the same, It's you figured it out. But I'm just talking about, like, I don't know, are there other, because a lot of times we wrote roles kind of that were very us or ourselves, but sometimes there's stuff that other people could do, Darren, you never wrote?
I was really upset because when we wrote Dinner Vote, I was in it. I was your girlfriend. And
really?
Yeah, and then like I had to like go out of town and I missed a show. And so Sam just stayed in the character. Like,
is that true?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a bummer.
Yeah, but I mean, honestly though, because like all those shows that we did Dinner Vote where you just like knocked the fucking shit out of Sam.
Right.
Yeah, I did hit him in the face.
He punched him.
I'm so glad I'm not that anymore. I'm so glad.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Did we ever talk about Zach? Like really early on when we first met, like, where were we? I think we were like in DC at like, what's his name? Hal's, his parents' house. And we were trying to sneak into your room while you were sleeping. And you like just came at you.
Ryan's parent, Ryan's lake house. And
yeah.
Yes. I think we have talked about it.
I have felt the other end of a blow from Zach, and it is hard. It's really hard. And Sam would take some serious beatings on stage. It was just admirable.
Maybe that's a pro for keeping Sam, because he can suck up the pain,
Well,
one time Sam punched me in the balls, like unprovoked. Like we were like just walking down the hallway at our dorm, and he turned and just like punched me in the and so I feel like I've always held on to that and it's always kind of present when I'm hitting him on stage.
You hit me in the balls once unprovoked. We were at a party, long time ago.
On stage?
No. We were at a party at Newhouse. We were filming the Steve's Place goth fire thing. Remember that? Like how there's those goth guys having a fire in Steve's Place, Trevor's movie.
I don't remember that scene. But
Anyways, I walked up to you and I don't know. You're goofing around and punched me in the balls, but that's about all.
Oh wow. Well, I'm sorry.
No, I don't care. You're talking about hitting each other in the balls. It's like it didn't matter. I've been hitting the balls a lot in my life by accident or on purpose, so it's probably fine. And after that, I had a kid, so everything was fine. You know.
Yeah. Didn't Sam break a rib from running into Trevor? Not that I know of. I don't know.
Oh, Sam Hammett, here's a good one. Sam Hammett says, who wouldn't want to play Trevor's devil character in Opus? That'd be a fun one. I think we could all have a good take on that one, you know? People like you.
That's Trevor's, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Wait, Sam's not in Opus, right? Because he missed that writing day, and so we didn't put him in it. And I remember he was
Buddha.
When we did it live, he played Buddha.
Oh yeah, but we were all kind of resentful that he got to be.
Well, and I remember, it was more buckets I had to buy when we did Buddha, because Sam we made bucket stilts.
I don't think people know that the live version, it's like, Buddha, how'd you know it was me? Well, I got these buckets on my...
Yeah, and Sam comes up with bucket stilts from the back of the audience, right?
Yeah.
That was insane.
Shirtless, and he's shirtless like Buddha.
Was Trevor on buckets or was only Sam?
Was Trevor on buckets?
Trevor was on something.
He was supposed to be tall, right? Like a big tall...
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
But man, watching Sam, I feel like I was watching Trevor on those buckets too, and I was like...
I feel like, because I don't want to say any of us are graceful, but I would say that those two are the least graceful. Is that right? I'm a pretty good bouncer.
Not graceful.
What, Zach?
I said Sam is definitely not graceful.
Right.
Yeah. We're the most graceful of the bunch.
The three of us?
I mean, I can balance. I can still balance all right, you know? I can stand on some buckets.
Well, Darren, where are you, Darren?
I'm at home.
I'm in London?
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
I
guess I should look at those outlets behind you. Are those London outlets I'm seeing?
We're London outlets.
Okay, I was going to say...
Is that kind of annoying when you have to buy a bunch of adapters, or do you have to just buy a bunch of new stuff? Like, you've been living in London long enough at this point, it's like, do you even use adapters, or do you just have a bunch of British shit?
Half of my stuff is still converted, and the other is... I bought, like for my phone and my laptop, I went ahead and bought the 3-prong. Yeah.
So, but can I take my, MacBook and buy just a UK charger and it charges my MacBook like normal, or do they have different juice? Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
That's the same.
No, the electricity's different.
I don't know. Well, you can, if you overcharge shit.
No. So you're right. You mean like the voltage and wattage and shit. Yeah, that's a good point. It could blow it out for sure. That's a good question.
Zach is supposed to tell us what character.
Yeah, what's a character or someone else played you would like to do?
I don't know, man. Nothing comes to mind. I'm trying to think. I feel like Trevor played a few parts where I was like, I want to do that, but
yeah, I feel like there must be some of those.
That was the thing. The rule was always like, if you have the first idea of the sketch, if the sketch is your idea, you get to play any part you want. And Trevor always had the best ideas, so Trevor's the star of the show. So I was like, no, okay, cool, I guess. But I do remember, in the pilot, it was all Trevor, and I think there was some discussion of should we maybe put some other people in some of these roles, even though and he would be like, no, I did them live. I'm doing them in the show. It's like, okay. And he's right. He's right.
You're not talking about the Sundance pilot. You're talking about...
I'm just talking about season 1, I guess.
Season 1. Okay.
It was like the Trevor season.
I think we did. We actually sat down and we had all the list of sketches, and we were like, do you really need to play this role?
He would invariably be like, yeah.
Yeah.
He was like, I'm not happy with leaving any of these roles. And we're like, okay.
Yeah, we really had to do that, right? Yeah. Did we actually talk about that? Yeah, okay.
Because it was crazy. It was just
Yeah. That really bothered me. I remember season 1. I was bothered by that. I remember I was on a walk with somebody who was like, I guess the reviews had come out and after season 1, and somebody was like, a friend of ours was like, does it bother you that it's all the reviews basically call it Trevor and the Gang, the Trevor Moore Show, Trevor. And I was like, well, it does now.
I've been thinking it in the back of my head, but now that it's public, yeah.
Yeah, I got to ask that kind of stuff too. But I feel like as the show went on, it kind of evened out,
Yeah, also, I mean, look, it was he was the driving engine of the show.
Yes,
and he was
the
strongest writer and the funniest dude. It's like, all right, cool, man. I mean, looking back on it now, I don't give a shit. But
no, not at all. No, it's a great show, and I'm proud of it the way it turned out. And there we go. People are asking for Mars updates and maybe sexy Mars updates.
Mars updates. We're still chugging away, man. We've got basically visually, it's pretty much done, and now we're like doing music, and we're trying to. We still have more money to raise, and it's just.
Has it been submitted to anywhere yet?
Yeah, submitted to a festival.
Okay.
And it's we'll see. We don't know yet if we're in, but like we're it's coming along. It's coming along.
Yeah.
The movie is.
I saw it.
You saw the whole thing?
Yeah.
What do you think?
I enjoyed it.
All right.
I need that link from Sam.
Darren enjoyed it, so cool.
Yeah. I enjoyed it.
I feel like so close to it at this point. I'm like I forest trees. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Did any of the other kids sing or just Trevor?
Sing?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Like, can we sing? You can sing.
Sure.
I can sing.
Darren can sing. Sam sings. I've sang. So yeah, I guess we all sing.
Look at that.
We all sang in Boner, the Boner song.
Oh my God.
That sketch, like, I think when we wrote it, we were all laughing really hard.
We loved it. We wrote it in like 3 minutes. We wrote it really quickly.
I don't think I liked it. Even when we were writing it, I don't think I was into that.
You didn't like it?
No.
Yeah, and then we leaked it through College Humor before it aired. And so College Humor put it up first. And the headline was like a real mature sketch from the Whitest Kids. I watched it and I was like, oh, I don't think that was very good.
My favorite joke that Darren pitched, I don't remember if it made it in the final song or not, but it's hard to feed your kids with a boner, and you want like a close up of like a spoon of like baby food, like just going all over a kid's face.
I don't remember that.
A little too sexual. Yeah.
Remember that video of Ryan Gosling not eating his cereal?
Yes. Yeah.
No.
It was that old, like, what's it from that You're the Man Now dog thing? Was it from that? It was really old, right?
It's like shots of Ryan Gosling in different movies, and then like somebody like puts up a hand with some cereal on a spoon, and as it gets close to his face, like on the screen, his head turns.
It's just like edit in it. It's really funny.
Yeah, it's funny.
Any chance we'll ever get Civil War on Drugs available on iTunes or Vudu? It's on Amazon still. You can buy it there.
Yeah, watch it on Amazon.
Yeah.
You dick.
Just, put every billionaire on a dartboard, throw it,
Yeah.
Pick one. Do you guys ever talk to people from College Humor? I don't know. I don't talk to anybody.
No.
No. I don't talk to anyone.
The real Michael Jackson says, pretty sure Timmy has a brief audio clip at the end of Trevor's Gary saying, is that it? I like it. Is that you, Timmy?
No.
No, we just solved that mystery.
I think unless Trevor had some old audio of me from something, but I didn't record anything for that album. The only thing for any of Trevor's records I recorded was the mom at, I think it's on his first album, doesn't he have a song, My Mom's a Bitch or something?
I don't know.
He has some song like that, and so I did the voice of the mom at the end, like, what's this song? Something like that. I don't even remember. It's hard to remember things,
Darren, what'd you do today?
Oh, dude. Well, I'm going to Yosemite next week.
Hell yeah.
Is that for Tom's birthday?
Yeah,
right
Tom
and
man, Bill.
I wish I could go. That's fucking awesome.
Yeah, I've been invited to Yosemite like 3 times, and every time something has come up and I haven't been able to go. So this will be like my first time there.
Yeah.
And Tom is like, I want to do this 14-mile hike up Half Dome or whatever. And so I started looking it up, and I'm like, what the fuck? Like, this hike is ridiculous.
Really?
I'm in no shape whatsoever to do a hike like this. And Bill wrote me this long email about, because Bill has like gone to the Rockies and like hunted elk and carried meat like 55 pounds for miles, put in his car, went back and got the meat that he hung from a tree and brought it all the way back. So he wrote this long email of like everything that I need to be doing every day to get ready for this hike for Half Dome. And I'm just fuck.
So what, like what? I want to pull that email up. What are you supposed to be doing every day?
So you're supposed to be doing lots of lunges, lots of squats. He was like, if you walk somewhere for like a mile or half a mile, just do squats while you're walking. I'm like, dude, I'm not walking down the street.
Walking down the street in London, like,
London? Are you kidding?
Like, no way.
Would he?
I guess apparently,
dude,
and he
just
was like, you need
down to the
like
store,
25,
like, just
25 kilogram dumbbells in your backpack and just carry it everywhere. And I'm just like, oh my God.
But 14 miles isn't, like, that's a lot. But are you doing it all in one day? Is it a 1 day 14-mile hike?
Yeah. And it's, dude, Half Dome is like, you get to a point where it's so steep that they just have like cables that come down. And you have to like grab onto the cables and basically like pull yourself up.
Tom's not going to be able to do this.
Tom's been like Stairmastering the shit out of it, apparently.
Really?
Yeah, those two guys are ready. Me, not ready.
Tom and Bill, who else is going?
Yeah. It's just us three, as far as I know. And
Well,
CJ, I don't think CJ's going, but CJ's in Sacramento, so we're gonna go visit him first, and then we'll head up.
Man, when are you guys going up to Sacramento?
We're flying in on the 23rd.
The 23rd, huh?
Yeah. And then we're going to head into the park, I guess, the 24th or maybe the night of the 23rd. I don't know.
Oh, so you're only going to Sacramento for like one night?
Yeah. It's not
Is
long.
Sacramento close to Yosemite?
It's fairly close. I think it's like an hour and a half away.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
I got you.
Like the closest place to fly into is Fresno. But since CJ's in Sacramento, we're going there first.
Starlight Sammy says, Darren outing his location. Let's ambush him. If you guys want to hike up this dome thing he's talking about, yo,
bring me some drugs.
Yeah, not to say make promises on Darren's behalf, but I'm like, if you get up there, I think you deserve to be able to ambush him at that point, right? I mean, is that around where the free solo guy? You guys know that documentary about the guy that climbed up that like sheer wall with no ropes?
I think, is that Yosemite? I think it is.
I think it is.
There is like a famous wall in
That's
Yosemite.
probably it. It's called
Capitan.
Captain. Huh?
El Capitan. That's what he did, right?
Yeah.
That's an interesting documentary. That guy is.
It's awesome.
That guy
you know
is.
What I heard? I heard that he actually, the night before he did the free solo, he woke up in the middle of the night, went and did it. Free soloed it in the middle of the night, and then came down, then woke everybody up, and then did it again.
I mean, he was really. That wouldn't be surprising. The guy had some sort of spectrum-based focus on it, like so intense. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where because the ending of the documentary, towards the end, is like about his girlfriend and mom and stuff being like, he doesn't even care about our feet. Like he doesn't care that we love him and don't want him to possibly die. You know, it's a pretty wild thing. Yeah. Pastabot says, I free solo in my bedroom all the time. I don't know why that guy got a movie. I hear that. All right.
I have a book on accidents and deaths in Yosemite, and bring lots of water. You'd be surprised how little prepared people can be. Bring water, Darren.
Yeah, I will.
I'm sure people just walk up there, you know what I mean, with like their phone and a little Poland Spring, you know?
Yeah. I read this blog, and this guy was just like, if you don't think you can do it, don't even try. Like, don't even come close to it. He's like, people have heart attacks, people die, like, just don't even try.
Really?
And you guys
like, the last thing the park wants to do is to sit there and helicopter people out.
Yeah.
Jesus, man.
You guys are like old now, too. I mean, which birthday is this for Tom? 44, 45? You know what I mean? Like...
This is what he wanted to do on his 40th.
Oh, okay.
But COVID was here.
Oh, okay.
So he's trying to like revive that. But But he literally sent out that email a month before the date. So it's like, yeah, he's lucky he got us two.
Do you guys want me to read a couple donos?
Sure.
All right.
Oh, yeah.
So one came in a few days ago from the Whitest Kid, donating $10. Thank you very much. And says, love you all. Can't wait for Mars.
Thank you.
We love you too. Hold on and hang on. Just donated $15 a few minutes ago. Says, been a while. Happy to see your faces. Glad I logged on to ball punching stories to Mars. Yes, that's how we roll.
To Mars. Thank you. Hold on and hang on.
And Dowshire is maybe how we say that. Donated $10. Says, my first stream in a while since I live in London. Love the Sam hate.
Got to. You have to.
Is that so? Would that be pronounced Dowshire then? Probably, right? I don't know.
What?
Well, it says Dowshire, but maybe you say it Dowshire. Maybe that's how they say it over there. I don't know.
Oh, no. I'm sure I would get it wrong.
Do your daughters now have full British accents?
No, they don't. So, no. The second one, the 7-year-old, it's the inflection is part of her speech now. So like asking a question kind of ends like on a higher note. It's like, are you going to go to the store? Like with an American accent. So it's like things like that are in her speech. And so my older daughter, Amelia, she just basically straight up, when she's around her British friends, she's like, oh, I don't know. Really, Dad? And I'm like, what? And then when her friends go away, she's like, so Dad, anyways, where's the bottle of water?
So she'll like put it on in front of her friends?
Yeah. It's like, I mean, it's like, Amelia, your friends all know you're American. They hear you speaking American, and then you like do almost this offensive British accent.
How old is she?
She's 10.
10. Yeah. Amazing. That's fun.
I wonder if I was that age, if I would ever try something like that. But it's just so.
I would have.
Like, oh, you think so?
I know I would have. I know me. I would have anything to like, to try and be something I wasn't. I would have been into.
Yeah, it's hard because it's like literally everyone around you is all your friends, and you're trying to fit in, and they're all speaking the British accent, and you want to join.
I remember like when I went to school in Philadelphia, I was so self-conscious that I grew up in Arlington, Virginia, and not DC. You know, I thought it was cool to be from a big city, but not cool to be from the suburbs. So when I would meet people, like when I met Tom, because I met Tom like orientation at in Philadelphia, I was like, you know, where are you from? Blah, blah, blah. And he was like, where are you from? I was like, I'm from Arlington, Virginia. This is what I would do every time. I'm from Arlington, Virginia. It's like the missing piece of the square of DC. DC's a square. And Arlington, it used to be part of DC, but then it was so rough that Virginia bought it back so it wouldn't become like a total slum. Anyway, like the Pentagon is in Arlington. Like it has the tallest buildings are in Arlington. You know, like I couldn't just let somebody off the hook. I had to explain, like, I'm actually kind of an urban guy. So
you had to like do a whole geography lesson to convince them you're cool.
Yeah,
and then thereby becoming super uncool.
Who cares?
That's funny. Yeah. I should do that. Be like, I live in Watertown, South Dakota, but it's only like 200 miles from Minneapolis.
Yeah,
so I mean, it's pretty
like
much
an urban, city dweller.
Yeah, I'm kind of a city dweller.
Worldly, is what I want you to understand. I'm not a bumpkin.
It's like just having a big yard.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm such a bumpkin, though. This wine is like $6, and it's good. That's that's just cheap.
When I was a drinking man, I couldn't tell the difference between $2 Chuck and like something really, really nice. I think I probably could if it was super fancy, but like it's all fucking.
I'm starting to pay more attention. That's kind of fun, worse wine to me tastes a little vinegary, and this doesn't. You know what I mean? So. That's
Asperg Slim, that's actually a very good name, Asperg Slim. So Zach, show us your donger.
Yeah, come on, Zach.
Wow, what a wild comment.
It's been a couple years. Show us your donger.
Yeah, sure.
I'm surprised you even read that. You were like, oh.
I don't know why. It just kind of like, I was like, wow, that's how forward.
You're commending him.
That's a sexual assault. I was just sexual assault.
Yeah, I'm sorry, man. Do you need to talk about it?
Boot him. We never boot anybody from chat.
We never boot anyone.
Let's boot people tonight.
Let's do it.
I feel like Timmy's booted people.
No, I time out, but I banned like one person, maybe two ever, but I time out.
So you have.
Yeah, but not like, well, when you say booted, I thought you meant like a lot, like no. But I do time out, you know, but some people need that.
I don't even know, how do you ban someone? What's the prompt to
ban
someone?
You go up to, I just click on their name, and then there's a thing.
See, you know how to do it. You've done
it. Yeah, because the timeout button is right next to the ban button. Yeah, so.
This would be an infamous SSS, because this would be the one where, like, we banned everybody in chat. And they're like, yeah, do you remember the one where
You'd be legends, dude.
They literally, like, just, if you said something in chat, they immediately ban you.
If you donate, they ban you.
It's so cool.
I can't wait for the next SSS. What are they going to do next?
Yeah, these guys I'd love to know, but I'm banned. I'll never find out. That's how fucking rad they are.
For some reason, now more people are donating. Fart Knocker donated $5. Thank you. Says, you guys ever had a fly in your house and tried smashing it, but along the long, annoying process, ended up breaking a bunch of stuff in your house?
I think I have.
Yeah, I had that happen last night. I didn't break anything, but I like hit my knee on some furniture, like diving to kill the fly, you know?
Wow.
Yeah.
I wish I could have watched that.
Well, and I got it midair. It wasn't even against a wall. I just went, and I looked, and it was like dead squished in between two of the holes on the fly swatter. I was like, damn, dude, I'm fucking cool.
I'm fucking cool.
Your world's worst boy says ban Zach. Try and ban me.
How do I even? You're just in the Zoom. You're not in the chat.
Yeah, I don't even think I'm not even logged in to
Twitch right
now.
Or to Zoom. Yeah, you're just on there. Dr. Whom donated $10. Says, "Love you all. Fuck you, doll lickers. Wouldn't it be great if we all at one time in another world together?" God dang it.
Gotcha.
I'm always gonna love that. Oh, use Windex.
I get it.
Huh?
Oh, it's just somebody trolling. Was it a long thing to read?
It was. That was it. It was just that. But it was quickly went into gibberish. Somebody says use Windex to kill flies.
Oh, no! Then you're spraying chemicals all over your house.
Yeah. Gross. Well, there's a thing I sent you in our group chat. I sent a picture of it when I was at the hardware store, but I know you guys don't always see that. But there's a gun they sell. It shoots salt at flies and mosquitoes. It's like a little gun. That's fun. And I told my daughter about that, and her mom's boyfriend, who's like outdoors dude, they live really in the middle of nowhere, way more in the middle of nowhere than me. And he does that with a BB gun. He just like puts salt in a BB gun and just shoots bugs with it, I guess. So
cool.
Why not? I used to try and catch flies with my bare hands. You ever do that?
No. You've done that?
Oh yeah, I've done it a bunch. You can do it. You just gotta,
You just gotta believe.
You gotta believe.
You gotta really.
Then you shake them, throw them on table, and
Remember, Mr. Miyagi couldn't catch a fly with the chopsticks.
Right.
Yeah. Well, he was a fucking loser, dude.
He was a loser. That's when I was watching that movie. Like I rewatched it and I realized, oh, he fucking sucks.
Yeah. So we're gonna watch Daniel-san, who rocks, get trained by Mr. Miyagi, who's a fucking.
Wasn't he like just some poor schmo? Like, didn't he have like a regular job or something?
Whoa, Timmy.
What?
Elitist much? Didn't he have like a regular job?
You know what I mean? Like, okay, so in like old school kung fu movies, the masters like live in a fucking like temple on top of a mountain, and they have their own like food supply and everything. And Mr. Miyagi's just like some guy, right?
He's a maintenance man.
I've never seen the whole movie, actually. I've seen Karate Kid 2, maybe. That's about it. But
Karate Kid 2. You're too handsome to eat poop. I know you wouldn't do that even if the British tried to serve it to you. Why'd I read that? Okay.
I don't know. Somebody says, sorry we're not all rich like you, Timmy. That's funny because I just did that Twitter feed yesterday about how people out here don't always understand that just because you're on TV doesn't mean you have money. People will be like, you should buy us all drinks. I'm like, no, I have like $4. It's like, dude, the channel we were on had 3 digits in it in some places. We're not rich.
Maybe if Mr. Miyagi wrote skits, then he'd have your respect. Dude survived Japanese discrimination.
Wait, I know Baby Babar, I think, is saying skits on purpose because it's now been we've talked about a few times, at least on Trailer Boys, that skits is like, that we hate the word skits.
Yeah. We used to call them sketches or sketches.
Yeah, sketches. Sketches? Did we say sketches? Well, you know what we used to call them that I loved was little plays.
Little plays.
Little plays. That's that. I like that.
Yeah, we were like, come on, guys, we have to go and do our little plays for the audience tonight. That's what we do with our live.
Yeah, we write little plays and we put them on for free.
And that really was. That was it. And Darren used to say before shows, like, hey, guys, like, you know, we'd all be there and be like, okay, just be funny. Like, okay, thanks, coach.
Be funny, guys.
Oh, that's what we're doing?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Hey, I have a question.
Go for it.
I'll answer it for you. I got this.
Okay,
Timmy, I got this.
This is really...
I'll drink.
This is coming out of left field, so I'm sorry. But Kevin Nealon on Saturday Night Live, like, did he ever do anything that was funny?
Oh, I got this. No, which is funny in and of itself.
Oh, so that's...
Yeah.
Okay. Got
it. He committed harder than anyone ever committed to anything on Saturday Night Live. Where he was like, I'm going to get cast. I'm going to be on it for like 8 seasons, and I'm never going to be remotely funny. And people were like, you can't. And he was like, watch. And then he did. He pulled it off.
Did he do Weekend?
The shit out of it.
Did he do Weekend Update? He was good on that, right?
Yeah, and he was never funny once. It was awesome.
He was good in Happy Gilmore.
No, not even.
Oh,
no, he wasn't. That's the thing. He was like... That's so weird. I'm like, did I miss a time where Kevin Nealon was like amazing or something like that?
Nope.
It was the same meeting.
It's like your friend's dad was on SNL. You know,
Darren, you missed the. It was at that meeting, Darren, and at that same meeting, people were like, "Oh, and also we all love Dennis Miller."
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never in my life smiled at a Kevin Nealon bit.
Did he like play characters? He was just kind of Kevin Nealon in every sketch, wasn't he?
I bet he's like the nicest guy.
He probably is.
Yeah, I think he is. I'm sure people love him.
In fact, he's probably like Blaze Blarby or Dark Bastard, and now he's just fucking so bummed, you know?
Yeah. It's just weird because like that cast was like insane during those years.
Like early mid-90s.
And I was like, always like, he must have done something. I just missed the whole Kevin Nealon thing.
Yeah, it's like Chris Farley, David Spade, Adam Sandler,
Myers, Carvey, Phil Hartman.
Phil Hartman, John Lovitz.
The ladies, yeah. Did you have Anna Gasteyer at that point yet? She was great. It was stacked, man. It was so stacked.
Later. It was Chris Rock also.
Oh yeah.
Timmy, what's your favorite Anna Gasteyer bit?
The radio hostess. Isn't she one of them? Yeah.
The liberal radio, NPR or whatever?
The ones that ended up, they had the one sketch about where they talk about the sweaty balls, but they did a few bits like that, and she was funny on that. And wasn't she the lady that played organ with Will Ferrell when they did the church people singing? Yeah, that was really funny. Right?
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember. It's like me openly. Patrick Turner says, can we get Timmy and weapons? Zach?
That's going to be a no for me, dog. Let me think.
You can't. Well, the thing is, people, Zach can't afford both Pedro Pascal and me at the same time. That's the problem.
No kidding. No shit.
In fact, it's a one-man play now, right?
What's your favorite SNL sketch?
I mean,
I think my favorite is the Japanese game show where Chris Farley's on there and everyone's cutting their hands. He's like, I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah,
it's the best one.
It's so good. Very similar to those lines. The coffee, the
holy god,
the coffee taste test is with Farley.
That's good.
How do you feel? Angry. You know, Sam and I showed up on some friend's UCB show once, and Tom Schiller was the other guest, and he is the guy that directed those and like some other weird of the little short film kind of things they would do back then. But he made the coffee. Like I knew who he was. I didn't know which SNL stuff he'd done. And then he said like, yeah, I did the Chris Farley coffee thing. We were like, oh my god, that's the best, you know. But yeah, I love that one. And
that is pretty spectacular.
I feel like all of mine are Farley because Schmidt's Gay has Farley in it. Schmidt's Gay is great. And then the one where it's Adam.
Schmidt's Gay.
Huh?
Doesn't matter.
It's
they do Schmitz so that they're not saying Schlitz.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
But anyways, the one where it's Adam Sandler and Farley, and Adam Sandler's like, let me clean your house. Let me, and he wants to let me watch your house. He's like, let the boy sleep in your bed. That's you guys remember that one? Oh,
I remember that one.
It's so good. Did we all say Farley stuff?
What was the one where Chris Farley was Adam Sandler's wife, and they're going to New York, and
he's reading the Zagat's.
I gotta read the Zagat's.
Holy cannolis!
And Adam Sandler can't keep it together. He's
oh my god!
And she would rub the inside of Adam Sandler's leg really close to his crotch, and
she'd be like,
just trying to get
take me now.
God, that's a good one. Oh, and the
Kill
fucking
me now, God.
And the talk show he would do with Paul McCartney, like, remember when you were in the Beatles? That was pretty cool. God, he was good, man.
It's fucking nuts.
Lay off me, I'm starving.
Yeah, the American Apparel girl or whatever, or what? Not American Apparel, whatever store that was supposed to be it. I showed my daughter Tommy Boy for the first time recently. She's like, this guy's amazing. I'm like, yeah, and he's dead.
So it held up? She liked it?
Oh, yeah. The only part I skipped over was David Spade jerking off. I'm like, she doesn't need to think about that yet.
She's got to learn, dude.
Huh?
She's got to learn.
Yeah, but not from David Spade.
Who better to teach her?
Yeah, okay. Touche. Gap Girls.
Scene in Tommy Boy is the one lady who's on the board, and she's like, and that's when the whores come in.
Yeah.
Everybody at the board goes, oh.
Yeah.
I visited one whore in 1971.
Walking in and shaking their little booties around.
Oh, that's good. It's still a funny movie. It pretty much holds up. Those 90s comedies, a lot of them have such more of a, I don't know, they kind of have, some of them have kind of a chill hangout pace sort of, but not like how in modern times sometimes when they make comedies now they're 2 hours long. And it's like, what? How did you do that?
If you had to pick one 90s comedy, which one
get
would you
remade?
To what, Zach? Sorry.
No, just one 90s comedy. You get to pick one, and that's what you save in a fire. All 90s comedies are getting burned up. You get to pick one.
Okay, I'm not going to say Fargo again and start a debate.
That's not a comedy.
Remember that? Okay, for me, my mind right now is stuck on three movies: Wayne's World, Happy Gilmore, not Billy Madison, but Happy Gilmore, and Bogus Journey. Happy Gilmore I saw first, and it's just
Okay,
but those three movies. But but if I had to pick from those, I think I'd do Wayne's World.
I'd do Silence of the Lambs.
Dope.
No, I think I watched Billy Madison so much that I want to die watching it so much, just so I just stay in that nostalgia. And you know what? I haven't seen it in so long.
It's still great.
But if I watched it again, I would just really.
I just watched that again with my daughter too, maybe 6-7 months ago, maybe a year ago. It's great. It's all Billy Madison and Happy Gilmore. Just so there's every joke still lands. It's all really good.
I think Big Lebowski.
Oh yeah, I always forget about that.
I watched that recently. It's good.
Yeah, it's still
good. Yeah, I'd say there's a part where the whole end. I feel like I kind of drop off with interest.
Like an extended ending, yeah.
Yeah.
That's kind of how it feels like.
I don't disagree, but I don't care though.
Yeah.
Like the first 3/4 of it are just so insanely.
Yeah.
I watched every Coen Brothers movie in release order, a year and a half ago, and it was a pleasure. But I mean, that's the best shit right in there. You get Fargo, Big Lebowski. Oh, Brother. Then they have a couple weird ones, but then they had No Country, so it's a good. Yeah. That's kind of what they did. They do 3 good movies, and then one that's kind of well, it's good, but I don't know, it's kind of weird, and then
I like The Man Who Wasn't There.
Masterpiece. Man Who Wasn't There. I forgot about that one. I love that one. Yeah, for sure. Made me want to smoke cigarettes. It was right when I had started smoking too. There's only one scene in that movie where he's not smoking a cigarette.
Really?
Yeah. It's I forget what the scene is, but yeah, he's constantly smoking in that movie.
Is that James Gandolfini? Who's in it?
Yeah, he's in it, and Billy Bob Thornton. John Polito, who's that guy that's in all their movies.
What other Coen Brothers is John Polito in?
He's in Big Lebowski. He's the guy in the blue Volkswagen Beetle. He's in...
Is he in Miller's Crossing? I think he's in Miller's Crossing.
He's a big part of Miller's Crossing. He plays like the big Italian gangster guy. Is he in Barton Fink? I think he's in... maybe, I can't remember.
No, I don't think he's in Barton Fink.
Okay. Barton Fink has what's his name? Tony
Shalhoub.
Well, Tony Shalhoub, but also the guy that plays the studio head, Michael Lerner, right? Is that his name?
Yeah. Bot. Come here, Bot.
God, he's so funny. That movie...
Barton Fink's great. The more I watch that movie, the more I like it.
Do you feel like you understand it?
I think so.
The ending to me is always kind of like I don't know.
The ending I don't, but I feel like it's about... Well, let me guess. Let me take a crack at it here. And this is not very thought through, but I think it's about the... It's about the life of the mind versus the... Barton is trying to intellectualize working class people.
Yes.
And so he's basically like, he's made his living as a fraud, where he is this like cerebral, kind of disconnected, guy who his bread and butter is depicting the day-to-day routines of working class people. And when he's actually confronted with a working class person, he like doesn't even listen to him. So it's all just kind of bullshit. So he's out here in Hollywood trying to make money, doing this thing, and he has access to everything he wants with his neighbor John Goodman, but he doesn't take advantage of it. And then at the end, it's like John Goodman, he's like, you don't listen. But I think that the final Hell Hitler thing at the end is basically the Coen brothers being a little tongue-in-cheek and saying what's really underneath all of that is like this fear of people like you. Like of the Barton Finks of the world. It's like that's the reaction that the I don't know. As I'm saying that, I'm like, I don't even know if I buy what I'm saying.
Well, but I mean, you're on the right track. I mean, he definitely did not appreciate the world that he thought he was touching base with. Like he didn't actually give a shit for those people.
Maybe they're saying at the end of it, it's like you don't belong in that world. You know what
right?
I mean?
And then he meets up with the woman on the beach.
I don't know.
At the very end.
It's amazing at the very end when the bird goes down into the thing, and they were like, "That was just a happy accident." It's like,
really?
Yeah,
oh,
it's
man.
Amazing. They just got lucky.
Never saw it. I need to watch it.
Oh, really?
Oh my God, you've never seen Barton Fink, dude? No. It's incredible. You got to watch that movie.
It's also the base of one of the great Simpsons jokes where some of the boys, like Milhouse and some of the other boys, are like, yeah, we're sneaking in an R-rated movie. Yeah, Barton Fink. And they all get in a pickup truck and they're in the back as they drive away. Barton Fink. Because when you think about 10-year-old, 11-year-old's first R-rated movie, that's
out of their
mind. It's terrible.
That's so funny.
I remember once years ago, right when my daughter was being born, Zach, you and I were talking. I'm like, yeah, when she's older, I feel like I can't wait to show her first R-rated movie like The Godfather or something. And you're like, The Godfather is boring for kids. I'm like, yeah. So I showed her when that time came. I showed her The Matrix, which is a fantastic first R-rated movie. Crazy shit and guns and So
I remember going to see my first R-rated movie in the theater. My mom took me to go see Last of the Mohicans. I was so excited to see it. I was like, Mom, if you don't take me to see this movie, I'm just going to have a meltdown. So she was like, okay. It's like, it's rated R for violence. And I remember in the car on the way to what year did that come out? I wonder how old I was.
93, 4?
Yeah.
Maybe earlier.
I must have seen R-rated movies prior to that. 92.
So Terminator 2 was the first one I saw.
Oh, wow.
I remember in the car on the way to the theater, and I was like, when I was a little kid and I'd go see movies in the theater, I would have a moment before the screen, when everything went dark and the screen was about to light up, I would always have a moment of nervousness.
Yeah.
I was like, it's going to be intense, you know? And I remember I was nervous about Last of the Mohicans, where I was like, what am I going to see? It's rated R. What if this is too much for me?
It's just naked people stabbing each other.
I was like, I don't know if I'm ready for this. It's fine. It's totally not bad at all. But I remember that anxiety. And then I had the Last of the Mohicans poster. I'm looking at it right now. I had that poster on my wall. in my room. I was obsessed with this movie as a kid.
I remember that music so well. I can never
Oh yeah,
music.
it was awesome. It was so good.
We used that in a sketch once. We ended the Yes Just 3, the Firing Squad sketch with that music live. I like walked out into the audience or something because on TV that sketch
running down the mountain.
Yeah, right. It's so weird because on TV that sketch just kind of stops, right? I think right, the one where I'm tied to the post.
Yeah, it's just that.
And then on stage, there's something about a bear, and then I walk off into the audience. And I think it was Darren's idea, somebody's idea, to play the Last of the Mohicans music, like, as I walked off. I don't know. It's one of those things that was like...
and Dances with Wolves. I loved Dances with Wolves.
Oh, yeah, dude.
And I bought the sheet music to Dances with Wolves, and I learned to play that on the piano.
Do, 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 do.
Yeah.
Do, 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 do.
I never liked when he found the white girl. I forget her name.
Okay.
Like I
is there a white girl living with it?
I never liked that part of the movie. I don't know why.
Is it a white lady with the natives, or a white lady playing a native?
No, it's when she was with the natives.
Okay.
Because she was like cutting herself, or why?
Yeah, I don't know.
I haven't seen it in so long. You know, we of course watched that in history class here throughout many classes, and we took a field trip once to go see the shooting locations and stuff because it was all shot here. But
what? Like, here's a field. They shot
sort of.
Kevin Costner's trailer was
right. No, here's what they did. So, in the first chunk of the movie, there's like a crazy guy living in a cave. There's like another Civil War vet that's like living in a weird little hut, like in the side of a hill or something.
Okay. Yes.
So that's still, they kept that up. It's on a huge range of all these bison, and so they shot a lot of it out there with all these bison around, and so that's there. And there was some other structure still there for the movie or something, just because it's in the middle of nowhere. It's just a big field for bison, But and Costner loves that area, and so he bought that. He owned a casino in Deadwood for a long time, and it closed, and I think he reopened it recently. But
Kevin Costner owned a casino.
Yeah, the Star, something Star. What was it called? Yeah, man, he loves his neck of the woods. And then, of course, Yellowstone is you just go west of Deadwood a few hundred miles, and then you're at Yellowstone. So he just loves this part of the world, I guess. He's from California, so I don't know. I guess he just likes this part of the world. What was that? Oh, yeah, his casino. Okay, Kevin Costner's casino. I don't know.
What was the first rated R movie that you saw, Timmy?
I can't remember, but in the theater it was either The Rock or Devil's Advocate, and I would have been about 15, I think.
Oh, wow. I remember seeing Devil's Advocate.
Yeah. It's like, cool, we're going to see tits. Oh, like... Every nudity scene in that movie is like uncomfortable for different reasons, There's the one where he keeps picturing Charlize Theron as like the other lady, and then there's the one where she's covered in scars, and then at the end there's like a naked lady, but it's his sister. It's a weird movie.
It's weird.
Sorry.
Do you guys like that movie?
Devil's Advocate?
Yeah.
Not really.
Yeah, it's like I haven't seen it since back then, But and it wasn't my first R-rated movie, but it's a story I know I've told before, and it only came to me a couple years ago. I was texting someone around Christmas, and they're like, "Do you ever watch weird shit on Christmas?" And I was like, "Yeah, like Christmas horror movies." They're like, "What about Eyes Wide Shut?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, that's a Christmas movie." So I watch it and unlock this memory in 1999, whenever it came out in the summer, I think. But I was visiting a college in Wisconsin, and I saw Eyes Wide Shut with my mom.
Really?
Yeah, and her friend Martha. So I saw it with two moms. And I don't know how that happened. I think she was like, she's like, well, you were already kind of becoming like a movie guy, and you like this director, so you're excited to go see it. And so we went to go see it, and I just didn't think about it at all. And of course, the first shot of that movie is like Nicole Kidman's ass is like the first thing you see in the movie. And it was just it's a very weird thing to see with your mom. So there you go.
That's a weird one.
That would make me feel incredibly awkward.
Yeah, I still do. 30 years later, or whatever it was. So there you go.
Have you guys talked about it since then?
Yeah, I brought it up, and she's like, yeah. And I'm like, that's funny, right? She's like, yeah. I'm like, because it doesn't, it's fine. It's like I don't actually have fucking complexes because of it, probably. But, yeah, she's like, yeah, that was just weird to see that. She's like, I don't know if we, like, Sarah and Martha, they're like Midwestern moms. They're like, I don't even know if they liked it. They probably, didn't even like it. But I don't know. They like Tom Cruise, I guess. I don't know.
You should ask her.
Be like, what'd you think? Like, how'd you like the orgy scene, Mom? Did you like how the creepy piano notes during the orgy scene really made it seem more terrifying than erotic? Doom, 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 doom. That plays in my head every once in a while. Maybe that's what I got from it.
I only saw that movie once. And,
I like it.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's good. It's got one of my favorite stupid film tropes. Zach, you should do this in a bar scene sometime. Can't remember if you did in Barbarian or not. But I always love when somebody, I don't think you did. I always love when somebody goes into a bar and goes, I'll have a beer. And then they get a beer. It's like, that never, like, you don't do that at a bar. You ask for the kind, you ask for the thing, Bud Light or whatever, But in movies, it's always like, I'll have a beer. They get a beer. It's like, no one asks them, well, what kind, dude? We have like 7,
I'll have a whiskey and a beer.
Yeah. Whiskey, they do have the well whiskey, so that makes sense to me. But when they just say, I'll have a beer, it's like, that doesn't, no. I don't know.
I hear you. It's like when people hang up the phone without saying goodbye. I'm like, picks me out.
Oh, like in a movie?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It happens all the time.
It's weird.
It's almost like they do it on purpose.
You know who does that in real life, though? Really old people. Like, at my insurance job, I had all these old customers to be like, they'd call up, and I'd be like, hey, what's up? And they'd be like, hey, I need you to switch this car out of my car insurance or whatever. I'm like, okay, I'll do that. They just hang up on you. I'm like, oh, okay, bye. It's like
my last phone call with my grandfather I ever had. I called him and we were talking, and he, in the middle of me, I asked him a question he didn't answer. I was like, "Grandpa, can you hear me?" He goes, "I have to go to the bathroom," and then he just hung up the phone. I was like, that was the last conversation we ever had.
I wonder about that. Like, is it because some of those much older people, like,
they're out to lunch?
Well, they're out to lunch. There's that, of course, but also like, were phones new to them? No, they had phones their whole lives.
Yeah,
right.
They had phones longer than we did.
Yeah.
Yeah, but dude, they just don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Fucking awesome.
He didn't care.
This conversation is done.
And we shouldn't care either,
Right. I hope when I'm that age, if I have a shitty grandkid who's just like annoying me, I'll just be like, I gotta go to the bathroom.
It's like, I'm
just
80.
Move on with my day.
I'm fucking 87. Niceties? I don't have time for niceties. Are you fucking kidding me?
You know how little time I have? You think I'm gonna spend it with you?
Yeah. If I literally see anything else that's better than who I'm talking to, I'm going to end it and go do whatever.
I saw a comedian I know made a great joke on Twitter this morning, this guy Jesse Case, and he said, in like middle school, high school, grade school, middle school, they make you take a health class. And he's like, I feel like adults should have to take a health class every 10 years to show you, like, here's what your body's going to be doing the next 10 years. Like, now your ears are going to grow hair, shit like that. Like, now your knees are going to start fucking up for no reason, that kind of thing.
I probably need a class like that.
Yeah. Are you, do you have a gut? Are you worried about, are you like, you said you're not in shape. Are you like getting fat or something? Or why are you worried about this hike? It's just going to be tough?
Yeah. Well, I think just Bill scared me, Because, dude, you're
walking. Darren, take your shirt off. Let's see what we got going on.
Show us your titties. And of course I don't think you're getting fat, but someone in chat earlier said it looks like I'm losing weight, and let me tell you, ain't. So, I know that the camera,
Let me tell
you something. Fuck no. So, the camera can lie. Darren, you weigh like 280 pounds now, right?
Timmy.
What?
Do you work out?
No.
No? Not at all?
Not at all. I mow the lawn.
Ever in your life?
I mean, yeah, I've worked out in my life, sure, but
like
not
with regularity. Like if you
yes, I did when a couple times I lost a lot of weight. It's weird how that works, right? So, yeah.
Yeah, but Timmy, you like walk to your car from the house and you get in it.
My car is literally outside my side door, but yes.
Darren, what are you?
Boom.
He's being silly and acting like that's enough exercise, but no, I need to. There's a.
Timmy, you can make it into the kitchen right now.
Yeah.
If you want.
What if Timmy was on a raft?
Get yourself a hoagie.
Just turned around and raft.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah, Darren, I can. And then you just hear, my chair just goes back and turns around. I mean, that's the thing is like one thing I loved about Trevor is he just didn't understand being fat. And he just like off, and I know sometimes you play it up to be funny, but he kind of seemed to really think that like fat people are just constantly on the verge of death. You know, like if I start breathing too hard, I'm just gonna die, and that's just not. You know,
what would he do? How would that manifest?
He would just like I know he just always make jokes about I don't know. There's how I am. I bring something up and then get all I can't think of examples, but so he. There would be jokes like just about like, me not being able to if I have one more whatever donor or something fall over, stuff like that. He just generally seem to think that like fat people are like really not doing well, which might be the case, but also like I live around a lot of fat people and everybody still does stuff. You know what I mean? Like I feel really bad about my body a lot. And I'll go out somewhere and I'll see somebody with like ankles the size of a fucking ham, and I'll be like, God, like there's so much further you could go. Like I still feel bad and know that I need to start being healthier, but also I'm like, ooh, man. Like there's people like I don't feel like physically uncomfortable like right now, but there's people who probably feel physically uncomfortable all the time.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
And they don't do anything about it. And I'm trying to a little bit, and it's just hard for me. It's all mental stuff, but like man, to be like the morbidly obese kind of folks, it's a sad and weird thing. It's mental, it's now I'm just pontificating with a glass of wine in my hand, so shut
up. What else is going on, guys?
I don't know. We were talking about I can't remember what we were talking about a little bit ago, but I did this thing the last couple days where, I collect movies, I collect Blu-rays, and I've been trying to, there's a whole thing with Blu-ray collectors that they don't watch what we buy, right? So I've been trying to watch everything, and I was watching Christmas horror movies with commentary as like a Christmas in July thing. And have you guys ever heard of the movie Blood Beat? It's a really weird, obscure movie.
Blood Beat? No.
Blood Beat. So it's from the early 80s, and, now it's been adopted kind of, it was barely released on video, but now Vinegar Syndrome, who's a really cool Blu-ray label, bought it, restored it, put it out a couple years ago. But so I watched it with commentary, and it's fucking fascinating. So Blood Beat's it's a horror movie that was shot in Wisconsin in like early 80s, and it's a really crazy premise. It's like this family gathers for Christmas, and the mom hasn't been telling everybody that the house is now haunted by the ghost of a samurai who her grandfather killed in World War II or something. So like they're being stalked by the samurai thing. But so the director is this French dude, and he was like 20, and he moved from France to the United States. Not a filmmaker. He hooked up with this lady, and they moved into this house in the middle of fucking nowhere in Wisconsin, and did a bunch of LSD, and then decided to shoot this Christmas horror movie. And so the commentary is like fascinating because it's subtitled. The guy didn't even really speak much English, and he still doesn't. So, he did this commentary like 40 years later. And he's like, just very upfront. He's like, yeah, this scene doesn't really make sense because we were on so many drugs. And he says that like every 5 minutes because the movie there's a lot of crazy shit in this movie. And he just talks about that. And then he like talks about like how he moved like from Paris to Wisconsin and like learned how to hunt and fish and then shot a movie with these people. And like there's like non-actors involved. And he's like, yeah, and then like towards the end of the movie, he just keeps talking about how high they were, and then he talks about how much he likes the actress's boobs, and like it's
really
the whole experience is crazy. But like the movie's like ridiculous by itself, but the commentary, I'm like, oh my god, this is like some of the best commentary because the guy is like French and just out of his mind, But
there's a scene in that movie where like a woman's making coffee in a bathrobe and she gets shot with an arrow in a kitchen.
Is that a Jean-Claude Van Damme movie?
No. And it's like...
in that. Yes. Yeah.
In Blood Beat?
There is an arrow kill, and I think that's her. Yeah, there's a lady that's getting her husband coffee and orange juice, and the samurai ghost thing kills her. Yeah, something like that. And there's like, they'll like suddenly switch the processing so the colors and like are like reverse negative and stuff and all this weird stuff. And Like every time there's a kill, and every time there's a kill, this girl who's like possessed like starts orgasming. It's a wonderful film.
I can't imagine trying to make a film like on LSD or something like that.
With like 10 grand. I mean, they had like zero. They were just a bunch of people. Like some of them were actors they hired from Madison, Wisconsin, which is a college town. You know what I mean? So they're not. There was, I mean, you talk about like indie fucking like rogue maverick filmmaking. Like they like asked the small town, they needed an ambulance for a scene. They asked the small town cops an ambulance, like, can we get it? They're like, yeah, sure. You know, like they just drove the ambulance over for a scene. There was no like paperwork, you know, or figuring shit out.
Darren, remember the short film you made in while we were in college, with the voicemails?
Yeah, Be a Man.
What was that called?
Be a Man.
Be a Man. That was awesome.
Oh, thanks, dude.
Yeah.
Oh,
let's talk about that for a minute. So
yeah.
like somebody had like called a girl you know and left like 50 voicemails on her machine over the course of like one night, right?
Yeah, met her one night at a bar, got her number, and then they went their separate ways. And then he proceeded to leave her like 10 to 12 voicemails. She saved all of them, and she was like, you gotta hear this. And like, I heard them, and I wrote down everything that he said. You transcribed them. Transcribed it, and then basically we use that as you watch the film while you just listen to this audio. And while you're watching the video, you're basically watching him.
So it was like, you reenacting his voicemail. So it wasn't his voice, it was your voice.
Right.
And then what were you doing? And describe the voicemails. They were like, did they kind of get worse and worse as they went? Like, was the first one normal and the last one was insane, or were they all insane?
No, I mean, the first one, you can already tell he's like, something's off, you know?
Was he wasted or was he just neurotic?
No, I think he was just, he met a girl at a bar and for the first time and she was drunk. And I think she kissed him too at the bar. So like, he like was over.
He lost his mind.
Yeah, but like the voicemails, they get to a place where he's like, he starts talking to himself. You know, kind of like that Jeff Nichols thing where he'll like say something and then he'll answer it on the voicemail, and it starts to go into that. But yeah, dude, it's funny. I have the original film in the canister. From that.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
I remember watching it. Did you screen it somewhere, or did we just maybe watch it at someone's house or something?
I don't think I ever screened it, but I think we've had some sittings and watched it.
Yeah,
it's funny, man, just like shooting on film in college. Like I remember I shot my thesis on 16 millimeter, and I shot the whole thing, but I needed one extra scene that I wanted to be like a sex scene that happened in a front yard of like a suburban neighborhood in the day. So I got the film, and Mike Simmons shot my thing, but I couldn't get Mike to shoot that final scene. So I got my friend Tanya to come up, and I got another DP, and we like went up to the suburbs, and we like found a front yard, and we like filmed this like sex scene in the yard, which was like no nudity, but it was like pretty sketchy what we did. And it was like, it was a lot of energy. And then I took it to the developer. I dropped off the canister, and they were like, okay, so is this film like blah, 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 or blah, blah, blah? And I was so embarrassed that I didn't know the answer to his question that I just said, it's blah, blah, blah. It's just like, and he goes, okay, cool. And then like 2 days later, I get this call, and they're like, so yeah, this is like ColorWorks, and you told us the wrong information for the film, so it's ruined. And I was like, well, maybe I can come and just like salvage, whatever image is on there. He's like, there's no image on there. It's completely ruined.
Wow.
And I was like, I didn't have the confidence to just be like, I don't know. Like if I just been honest and be like, oh shit, I don't know. They would have been like, oh, let me check. Or like, you need to call your DP and find out. But so that whole day was just
wow.
And I had to add an ending in text to the end of the video, And
oh man,
wasn't there some?
Did you make the actors really fuck?
It was me and the girl, and no, we didn't. Really. Although that short film did end up winning the award of all my senior class. I won the
wow
thing.
Without the sex scene.
Without the sex scene, didn't need it.
Was there a film you made in your college years with like a Ken and a Barbie doll or something? I feel like I remember seeing you edit something.
I took an Aphex Twin song and I like did like a porno with 2 Barbie dolls that I shot really stylistically.
I had the same thing happen, Zach. I made a short film. You know, I had a brief foray into going to film school, and I shot a short film starring Trevor, and then Mary was the other. Remember our friend Mary? She was the other star of it, and it was a silent film. It was like 5 minutes long, and I shot it on, was it Super 8? It might have been 8, yeah. And I don't know what the fuck happened, if I fucked it up or what, but yeah, when I got it back, it was black. All of it was black.
Yeah.
And then I dropped out of film school to play Grand Theft Auto Vice City.
That happened to Zach? Do you think it was the same thing?
I don't know. Maybe, you know.
Processed it the wrong
Possible, way? Yeah. You know, I don't know. I don't even remember. It was a long time ago, you know, over 20 years now. And, you know, it was right around that time was, you know, I joined Whitest Kids and had a grandparent died that I wasn't expecting that fucked up my head pretty good. And I just started dropping out of school. And as the joke goes, but it's kind of the real answer, I started playing Grand Theft Auto Vice City instead of going to college. And, you know, but so I don't really remember what I did to that film, but it was about Trevor being followed by somebody in a clown wig that you always see way off in the distance, out, you know, way back in the background, blurry generally, and then eventually catches up to him, and it's like his wife who's been following him, but she has a clown wig for some reason. I don't remember.
You know what was cool is because right around that time when I made that short film, and Mike Simmons shot mine as well.
Oh, yeah.
But Mike was shooting all of Amir Nadari's films.
Yes.
I was in one of those.
Oh, yeah?
Iranian filmmaker. Yeah, and Trevor was too, right?
Trevor was, yeah.
Yeah.
He was in one about crossword puzzles?
He was in Marathon about crossword puzzles,
Yes.
and I was in The Sound Barrier.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, The Sound Barrier. The kid with the listening to tapes or something, like looking for the right tape. Yeah. Anyways, Amir saw like the first cut of my short film just because he was over at Mike's house, and Amir was like, "I will come to editing with you." He's like, "I've always wanted to make this film, the one you're making." And I was like, "Oh, wow!" And so he came and he helped me edit my short film together.
Cool.
Oh, that's awesome.
And then he was like, "Yeah," and I already had a rough cut, and he's like, No. He's like, "Let's get all the footage back up on the monitor again," like to the editor, and she's like, "Oh god."
Oh man.
Like to bring
was
all
it helpful? Did he have good ideas, or was it a big kind of like waste of time?
It was a little bit of both. Yeah. I think like it was nice to have him there because he definitely brought some like new ideas that I was like, oh yeah, this is great. But I think he was also searching for something that wasn't there, and it was. And I think it kind of let him down a little bit.
Oh yeah.
So.
Amir was an interesting guy. So he was an Iranian filmmaker who made a couple of films in Iran. But the way you get your funding in Iran to make your movies is you have to get like a government grant. And that means you have to tell them what movie you're going to make. And it has to basically be like a glorified PSA.
Oh,
so that's like a government approved message.
So propaganda.
So he would go to the government and he would pitch them what he was going to shoot, get the money, and then go make whatever movie he wanted. And he got away with it once. And then the second time he did it, he actually lit an oil field on fire to light a night shot. And in doing so, illuminated the field, and the Iraqi Air Force did a strike. He enabled an airstrike this was when Iran and Iraq were at war, and he like caused a major fucking military problem.
What?
And Iran put a fatwa on him, and so he had to come to America. So he's never been back to Iran. He's basically was like, you know,
wow, I did not know that. I knew about lighting the oil on fire.
That's insane.
And I watched that film too.
He's an amazing guy. Like he had a lot of like, really amazing stories. Man.
There's some questions coming up in chat about this. Amir, what's his last name?
Nadari.
Okay, and then someone else says he's the guy Trevor lied to get that job, right? Did Trevor lie to him to get on the movie? What did he say?
Yeah, Trevor was like, "Yeah, I know how to do sound," and then they showed up, and Trevor had the boom and the thing. And he's like, "I don't know what anything does," and they're like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "I don't know how to do this."
Dude, even after like being on set for 5 years, I still would not let Trevor do sound.
No way.
Yeah, but Amir, he had a film that went to Cannes at the same time, and his film was, so I can't remember I think it might have been that one with the fire, with the kids with the ice when they're running across the desert to the ice. And his film like had a lot of like praise and heat, and so like it went into the film festival, and that was the same year that Taste of Cherry, this other Iranian filmmaker, made that movie, and it like that movie won and stole all of Amir's thunder.
Bummer, man.
Yeah, that movie ended up being like it's like a Criterion. I haven't seen it, but I know about it. It's like I've seen it on streaming channels. It's like got a Criterion release. I think it's like a big deal,
it's
right?
Good. It's really good, but like the last like 15 minutes of the movie is just like documentary footage of them making the movie. And Ken was like, "Yes, you win." It's so strange, but the film is like actually it's really good.
Yeah,
it's interesting.
When I shot with Amir and Mike, they were having a fight, and I remember it was like lunch, and we like went to the lunch, to a restaurant for lunch, and Amir was so angry he sat away from everyone and ate by himself, and like me and the other 3 crew members were like sitting at another table, just like it was the most awkward.
Oh man.
Yeah, he was a kind of a super passionate, crazy guy.
Mythic has a good question, and I don't know if there's been a film made like this or not. Mythic says, I wonder if you gave a bunch of different people the same footage, how many different movies you would get, like a bunch of different people to edit the same footage.
You'd get 100 editors, 100 movies.
Right. Has there been any experimental kind of documentary film or art film like that? I feel like I've heard of it, but I'm not sure.
Like every film class ever,
sure.
do an assignment where you give all the students footage, and then they all cut it different, and you say,
I gotta pee, I'll be right back.
Yeah.
Cool. I'm gonna do
like there's an interesting movie called The Five Obstructions with Werner Herzog and Lars von Trier, where they kind of get cool stuff like that.
I haven't seen it, but that's something like that.
It's great.
Here's some donos. Pop Tart donated $20. Thank you. Happy Saturday, boys. Love seeing you on Trailer Boys, Zach. When's Darren coming on? On Trailer Boys? Darren did a Trailer Boys, I think, a couple months ago. Zach, you did Rip-Offs Part 2, right? You're just on that? Did you guys get some good ones?
Yeah. Definitely.
Dude, that's a very ripe category.
Oh, yeah.
Because Nate and I did it the week before you guys. Man, there's some fucking ridiculous trailers.
Yeah.
I don't think we're doing it tomorrow, just for folks that watch Trailer Boys. I don't think we're doing it tomorrow. The next 2 weeks I'll be on with Nate at least, and probably Sam at least on one of those. So I don't know what the themes are, but if you've never watched Trailer Boys, it's good, man. We've now all been on it at least once, and it's originally started Nate and Sam have a theme every month or every week, and people submit trailers to it, and we judge them. So, Darren, what was the theme when you did Trailer Boys?
That was a really good pee, by the way. Nice.
Good.
The first Trailer Boys that I did?
Yes. Well, have you only done one, or have you done more?
No, I've only done one.
Okay.
It was fun. It was awesome. I gave everybody a 2.
Oh, I always do. Yeah.
2 or 1.
I'm too nice. Do you know what your theme was?
I don't remember. No.
I have a completely random question now based on something you just said. We talked months ago about your kidney stone thing that happened, right? Mm-hmm. Since then, do you appreciate a good piss more than you did before?
I don't think about it, but after the kidney stone had passed, for 5 days, every pee was like, yes, this is so much better.
That's good, man.
Wait, how did it come out? Did it have to come out through naturally?
Yeah.
Was there a moment where it was like, gink, and it was like, it's over?
It's funny because it's like, so the last 3 days, like I had it, you feel like you have to pee always.
I actually have to pee right now.
I would go to the toilet every 2 minutes, every 5 minutes, and I would some drips would come out, and I'd be like, oh.
Is it painful or just obnoxious?
It's just obnoxious. The painful part is not it coming out your dick. The painful part is when it's in between your, it goes from your kidney down to your bladder, like through that thin tube. That's the part that feels like you have contractions, like you're having a baby. It's like fucking insane.
And what causes us not drinking enough water?
There's multiple causes. And actually, if you could collect your kidney stone, you can look at the color of it and you can see what the cause is. So
did you collect yours?
It came out in the middle of the night, and I looked down the toilet. I couldn't find it.
Could you hear it come out? Like, how do you know when it came out?
So I went to go pee in the middle of the night, and then I was like peeing a little stream, and then it just stopped, and then just went, and like all came out, and like full on, flow. And
you were like, yeah!
Yeah, I was like, yes! And then I looked in the toilet for it. I was like, I gotta get it. And I didn't see it. And I was like, well, I'm not digging my hand way down.
No, yeah. What are you supposed to, like, worm your hand in your own piss and, like, fiddle around in there? No way.
I gotta get you. Fucking.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. And then the thing that I'm worried about is they say after you've had a kidney stone, there's, like, a 50% chance that you'll get it. So I'm like, man.
So what can people like me do to avoid it?
Oh, well, you're fine because you're in the U.S. And when you go to the hospital and you have a kidney stone, they're going to pull you in the back and they're going to zap it with like this special machine. They don't have that here in the U.K.
Like zap it, like a sonogram almost?
Exactly. And they'll basically just like deteriorate it inside your kidney, and then you'll be okay.
Dude, America, baby. Come on. Are you kidding me right now?
That's like our one thing in the medical field that we're like, we got it. We did it.
Shame on you, dude.
You still have to take out a fucking loan to get it, but we did it.
Dude, the ER here, when you go to ER and it doesn't fucking matter. Your thumb is cut off. You are in excruciating pain. You can't even sit, stand, you're screaming, whatever. You wait in the waiting room. Everyone waits in the waiting room, just like in misery until you get pulled in. Yeah, and you don't get pulled in and you go into a room and you have a bed and you just sit there and the nurse takes care of you. Like you go and you sit in the waiting room. So they'll finally bring you in. They'll talk to you. They'll like, what's wrong? And then like, okay, here you go. And then you got to wait for the doctor. Go back to the waiting room. So you go back to the waiting room. And dude, when you have a kidney stone, you're just like,
oh man, I can't imagine.
So much pain. You don't want to be around anybody. You just want to be in a room, like, so nobody can see you and deal with you.
Oh, man.
Girl Made of Cheese in chat has a good point. It's because of our shitty diets creating kidney stones to the point that the machine is profitable.
Yep. America,
true.
Baby.
I tell you what, man, in high school, when I first learned about that in biology class, like, I went to the bathroom right after that, and I was like, oh, fuck, it's going to happen right now, isn't it? I was like 17, It's like...
Dude, when I went to the hospital in Tobago, man, there were chickens in the emergency room.
Chickens?
Chickens inside the emergency room.
Wow.
And you told me, I remember you saying something like that. Oh my God, man.
That was awful. I spent a week in there, dude, in intensive care. It's the worst. And it was like it was just one big room with like 15 or 20 beds. So it's just me and 15 other like horribly injured people. And I had like a homeless amputee at the bed next to me who basically lived there because he just couldn't do anything. So it's like he'll either just die on the sidewalk or we just keep him here. And he was insane. So I was sleeping for 7 days. I was sleeping next to a homeless amputated maniac. I mean, an actual maniac.
Like your bed was right next to his bed?
Yeah. Oh. And it was like, when people would come in to visit their loved ones, he would be like, can I have a biscuit, please? Can I have a biscuit, please?
Oh, Jesus.
Tea. He would say tea because he wanted tea. That was all he could say. Can I have a biscuit, please, and tea? And some people would like, oh, this man wants a biscuit. And they would like give him stuff and he would eat it so fast and he would throw up all over himself. And so by the day 3, I got so comfortable there with people would come and give him food. I would be like, don't feed him. It was insane, man.
Oh my God, that's crazy, man.
I'm sure I've told that story on this.
Probably, but that whole experience is.
I never knew that. I never heard about the story of you in the ICU.
Yeah. You told me about the ICU. I don't think I knew about the homeless guy though. That's that's crazy.
Yeah, his name was Ashton.
Oh man,
I'm sure he's dead.
What's funny is that I remember you came to Florida with me, and we were like on the balcony, and we walked in, and you stubbed your toe like so hard that you like your nail was like coming off.
My toe like exploded.
I've done that. Yeah. I've done that. Oh.
And it was like after that, Zach was like, every fucking vacation, every vacation.
Wow.
Yeah, because then I went to Vietnam and I got dysentery. I was like,
you got dysentery?
Travel.
Wait, relax. So Florida was in between Trinidad and Vietnam. Okay.
No, it was after both.
It was after both. Okay. God, that's crazy. Here's a good story. Lobaka says in chat, many years ago, I went to the ER with my then girlfriend, and my mom waited in the waiting room for us. And then some guy came in with an Allen wrench. You know, with Allen wrench, right? Those little things come with IKEA furniture, you know? Some guy came in with an Allen wrench sticking out of his arm. And every time they called someone that wasn't him, he'd just get more vocally frustrated. Yeah. Oh, that's great. Just like, oh, God. Like, he's just got this thing in his arm, like, fuck. Yeah, that's good. I like that.
I went to the emergency room with my wife in the height of COVID, when COVID was like the worst. We didn't know how bad it could be, and she had this thing, and so we go to the hospital, and they were like 2 waiting rooms, and they point to this thing over here. So we go through this like plastic wrap because it's a hospital emergency. So we go to this we're sitting there with other people for like an hour waiting, and then we realized they'd sent us. It was divided into regular emergency and COVID emergency.
Oh,
and
wow.
They sent us into the COVID plastic wrap. So we've just been sitting in a tiny, sealed thing with people who are in the emergency room because they have COVID-19 at the when it was the worst time to go in.
And you weren't there for COVID?
No, we were not there for COVID. Man. I was so angry. I could not tell you how angry.
That's fucked up, man.
I was insane.
And you didn't get COVID? After that? COVID.
Zach, have you ever had COVID?
Never had COVID.
Wow. And the second time I got it, I went to the ER. They put me in a room. I went to the ER because I don't know about anybody else, but when I got COVID both times, but the first time I got COVID, I had these gassy feeling pains in my chest and in my back. And then just about a year ago, I was getting those feelings again. Going back to the whole thing about where I was like, fat, just because you're fat doesn't mean you're about to die. But I was getting these chest pains and I'm like, oh, fuck. So I went to the emergency room. Well, they left me, they put an EKG on me and they put all this stuff on me and then fucking forgot about me. I was just in this ER, in this little room in the ER by myself for a long time. My phone was dying because obviously I wasn't planning to go to the ER.
How long were you in there?
I was in there by myself probably an hour. It was a while, maybe even longer with no contact, nobody coming in to say, hey, what?
I don't think an hour is that crazy.
Well, in South Dakota it is when there's nothing else going on. It's where are you guys? Because that's the point. It's well, what are they doing? You know what I mean? But it was maybe even longer than that. But the thing is there was no point where somebody even stopped in to say, hey, a nurse being like, hey, we're coming. It just felt like I was put in a fucking drawer. And then he finally came back oh yeah, you're not having any heart problems, you just have COVID. I'm like, okay. But I was freaked out in my mind. I mean, I went in there thinking I had some sort of heart thing happening. And so they did an EKG and read it. And they were like, well, this guy's fine, so we'll just let him sit there. It's could you just tell me I'm not going to die? Because I was still in pain.
There could have been other emergencies.
I know that. But I mean, I also, it's I also have a very low tolerance for fuck-ups here because normally when any fuck-ups happen here, it's just people not doing their job right. Because it's there's not enough people to warrant other excuses. You know what I mean? So
that sounds so nice.
Huh?
That sounds so nice. I'm so sick of the amount of people in Los Angeles where I'm just there's too many fucking people here. There's way too many people.
Yes.
I want to move to the middle of nowhere and not see anybody.
Dude, if you guys visited me just for fun some summer or something, I would say come in either May or September. You'd have a good time. That's when the weather is really nice. Maybe June. And it's actually been really nice this month so far. But anyways, there's nothing fucking happening. And, we just sit in my giant-ass yard and just fucking watch rabbits run around. You know what I mean? It's there's a niceness about that.
I was there 7 months ago.
South Dakota?
Watertown. Yeah.
Oh yeah, where were you? What part of town?
Like the north side. It was cool.
I was on Smith Street and Wood Road.
Wow, we don't have either one of those, Darren.
Yes, you do.
No, we don't. We have a Broadway. We've got a Maple. We don't have a Main Street. A lot of small towns have Main Street. We don't have Main Street.
I was in the north side. I was like near.
He's looking at a map right now, Darren.
It was like off of Queef Street,
Yeah.
off the main drag of Queef. But I was like,
that's where I went too.
Yeah, somewhere around like Queef and like Pussy Fart, I think.
Timmy.
So you were. Hold on, Darren. Sorry, buddy. So Zach is about 4 blocks from my house. So fuck you for not calling me. Yeah, I literally live right by there. Were you looking at a map?
Wait, do you live like right by? Spray it all over my chest and hair.
I'm not far.
Spray it all over my chest and hair.
I was close to that.
Oh, you were doing a seminar because the Lutherans love barbarian.
There was an Airbnb over there. I was just hanging out.
I don't know, man. You know what's funny is like there's like one house next to that
chest and hair.
So I'm like, well, I guess
no, there's not. No, there's a lot more than one.
I mean, there's houses
like, on the intersection of Queef and Fart. I was like, I don't know, like maybe I was Queef, Pussy Fart.
It's funny, like it's like right there. Like I'm on
Slut Boy
and
spray it,
and around here, like wait, why am I talking this much about where I live in front of a bunch of strangers? Never mind.
Hey, chat, do what you
that took so fucking long for me to figure out.
Chat, take this ball and run with it.
You know what to do, chat.
Yeah, Darren, hold on.
Over the plate for you.
Most of chat,
deliver.
Darren, hold on, but think about it. Like when you say do what you want to do, like some of these people are like most of them are nice, but there's a couple fucking psychos. You know there always are.
Some of these people are absolute animals.
Yeah, dude, they'll fucking come over here and I don't know. I'll wake up with something on my.
I voted to ban everybody in this fucking chat way earlier in the session, and we're still talking to them.
I'm with Darren. You know what? Whoretown is nothing but just subhuman.
But hold on now.
You just slit your throat as soon as.
But if I ban them now, we won't know who murdered me. You know what I mean? We need to leave this open now so that when I get murdered tonight because of you guys and me being dumb.
Wait, none of us gave up your location.
No, I did. But you know, anyways, because of me, whatever.
I live at
Slut Boy. Spray it.
When I wake up with a knife in my butthole, we need to be able to come to chat and like maybe try and narrow it down. So Nate, when you're editing this in a week, cut that part out.
Yeah. Also,
anyways, please leave me alone.
Fine. Nobody has your address. No one's gonna come find you.
No, I don't. I'm not actually worried about that. I'll fucking fuck them up. But no, really, you would like to visit. You know, I used to tell this to Trevor, and I used to tell him all the time to come visit me, and he always laughed me off as a joke. But also, I know he also really didn't want to come. But like, you know, there's a lot of complaining I have to do about it. But like, there are times of the year that you come here, and it's fucking like perfect to be here. In some cases, you know.
How's Terry's Hot Rod Lounge? Is that place good?
It's not open anymore. So.
What about Duffy's Bar? How's Duffy's
That is
Bar?
still open. That has been open for many years. My parents met at Duffy's Bar.
Wow.
My mom, this is the story they tell me. My mom slapped my dad's ass because they knew who each other were because it's a small town. My mom slapped my dad's ass and goes, "Nice butt, Willie." And then they like started talking and there you go.
And then years later they porked and here you are.
I think months later.
What's better, Doc's Bar or
Dude, they
Duffy's
got
Bar?
married in June and I was born in the next April. That's pretty quick, you know what I mean?
We got some
Duffy's Bar is the winner for sure.
Yeah, Duffy's is still there. Duffy's is like an institution, man. Duffy's has been around for a good 50 years. So
Don't fuck with Duffy's, man.
Don't fuck with Duffy's, bro.
Okay, so what's better, Doc's Bar or Shooter's Bar?
Oh man, that's funny you picked those two. So those are the two bars where like underage kids go to drink. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're like the big bars where like on the holidays when people come home for Thanksgiving or whatever, like all the fucking like 20-year-olds go there. And so that's where like people get drunk and like, you know, like make bad decisions. And like, that's where people like, that's where Doc's is where like the fights happen.
What
like, I
about
don't really
the
go out
lounge?
anymore, but
The
Doc's...
lounge where like hipsters go?
Huh?
The lounge.
The lounge? No, that's actually the last time I went into the lounge. And this is going to sound like I'm completely making it up, but the last time I went into the lounge, which was a number of years ago already, but I was one of the only white people there. Like, that's where the people who aren't white go. That's like the bar where they hang out. You know what I mean? Because I think a guy, whoever owns it, is from Liberia or somewhere out. Huh? What, Darren?
You said where they hang out?
No, that's where that's where people who aren't fucking like white Midwesterners.
Oh,
okay,
dude.
Let me finish. There's a bunch of people living here who come straight here from Africa. And like, I used to have upstairs neighbors at my old apartment that moved here straight from Liberia. Huh?
That's pretty big in the Midwest.
Yeah, it's weird. Well, like, for instance,
Minneapolis.
So Minneapolis and Wisconsin. So after the Vietnam War, I don't know how all the politics and cultural stuff go down in Vietnam, but so there's a group of people or a culture from Vietnam called the Hmong, Hmong. Mm-hmm. And they, during the Vietnam War, they were like exiled or had to leave. And so many of them came to Minnesota and Wisconsin. And so, for some reason, this part of the world in the last 10, 20 years, a lot of people from Africa came here. And I don't know, like when I was an insurance agent, I had a whole bunch of African customers. You know what I mean? Like, it was interesting. But anyway, so I don't know if someone from Africa or something owned the bar or what, but like, it was like because a lot of those folks who move here will move together in big families and stuff, so they know each other. And so that's where they all hung out. And it's kind of interesting. But yeah. But Doc's is like, you stop going there when you're like 35, because it's like where all the younger people drink and it's like fucking crazy. Same with Shooters.
So Timmy, if I came there and I was there, I just took off my backpack, put it in your living room floor, and I'm like, all right, what are we gonna do tonight? What would you take me to go do? So we'd
probably go eat at Dempsey's, which is it's a brewery, but they make extremely good pizza. Like, the dude went to like school for it, for brick oven pizza. And
he went to pizza school?
Yeah. And he like competes like in Italy and shit. Like once every 2 years, he goes to a competition there. There's a competition in Vegas. The pizza's really good. You know, my last girlfriend, who was from the East Coast and part Italian, when she visited me and we ate that pizza, she's like, this pizza's actually like some of the best pizza I've ever had. Like, they have very good pizza, and it's a really cool atmosphere there. So that place would be good.
I ate there.
Did you? What'd you think?
Yeah, they have I had the
pepperoni.
I had the Free Britney, and it's got like the old Irish Dempsey's with the like crests on either side of it in there, right?
You know,
or am I thinking of a different place?
You're right. And you know what? Yeah. For an off the
flags hanging up.
Yeah, yep, shit. That's it. And you know, for an off the cuff lie, like, you're doing a really good job right now.
I'm not lying.
He's not lying, dude. He's just really good at the internet. Shut up.
Where else did I go?
There are cool places there, though. Here, you know, there's some cool places. And actually, right now, there's a good event going on. That's one of the things I actually really like to do here. It's called Coconut Compesca, that's one of the big lakes here, where it's called Watertown. There's a few big lakes. Compesca is one of the big lakes, and they do this thing. It's like it's at least for a long time. I don't know if it still is, but it was one of the official national events for the Pitmaster barbecue tour, or whatever, where people do like barbecue competitions, you know, and. Like, some people from all over the country would come here, and, you know, each year there'd be a different theme or something they have to cook. And then you get to go buy a pass. You go in, you get to sample everybody's barbecue, different pulled pork or chicken or whatever. And it was a lot of fun, and they do like other events around it. I saw one year when I went, I saw a ZZ Top cover band. I forget what they were called, but they're out of Sioux Falls, South Dakota. They're very good. And they actually...
WW Top.
Huh? What'd you say?
WW Top. I don't know.
That'd be great. We're called ZZ Middle.
We're almost ZZ Top.
But they actually owned some real ZZ Top shit. They bought at an auction or something, I guess. But they grew the beards out and everything. But they were musically, they were really good. But yeah, it's like a fun, very chill event. You know, so that's cool. But I mean, that's the thing, is like, it's easy to like complain about this town and be like, oh, fucking rednecks and conservatism, blah 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 blah. But there are certain things that do rule, and then we like our own worst enemy. Here's a good example. So there's a new bar restaurant. They also have good pizza. Someone else. It's not the same guy, but they're called the Sandbar or something.
Empire Pizza.
Huh?
Empire Pizza.
No. Well, Empire Pizza.
2nd Street Station.
You're so close. Empire. So there's 3 good indie local pizza places here. Dempsey's and Empire are 2 of them. But given that you said Terry's Hot Rod earlier, I think you're looking at an old map. So the third place.
I'm looking at my fucking memory, Timmy. Maybe Terry's closed down.
Okay, sorry, I didn't mean to call you up. Anyway, so the third place is newer.
Subs? Are you talking about Dagwoods?
No. Dagwoods is great though, but they don't do pizza.
Sub place.
Dagwoods is really great.
I remember really like it, and Mavericks is good too. If I was hosting you, I'd take you to Mavericks.
Yeah, I mean Mavericks is cool.
And then we go to Cake Crazy for dessert.
Cake Crazy doesn't do like that, but that's okay.
Yes, they do.
Anyway, so there's this other place that makes good pizza. They're all on the lake, right? You can go out there and have a good time, and then you can like get on a pontoon boat, go across the lake to the owner's other bar, which is in the sand, and it's like an outside bar. They have a trailer that serves drinks and stuff. They're in the sand, and like on the beach, and called Curly's. And so you could go in between, and like we did that for a party recently, and it was really chill. And then because of some weird zoning shit, they just closed down this beach bar, Curly's. And it's like, you guys, did you not understand that we finally had something cool to do at this lake, like here in town? The lake is mostly residential. It's a bunch of old money rich people that don't want to have anything else happening. And so now you finally have 2 cool bars, and they have like a boat going in between, and it's really fucking chill. And then suddenly someone comes up with some zoning reason to shut one of the bars down. You know what I mean? Like, so just fucking shoot yourself in the foot instead of actually, just go out and actually in your driveway, just go shoot yourself in the foot instead of like fucking up everybody else's good time. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't make sense to me.
If you found out that one of us came to Watertown, took a bunch of photos at these various restaurants and stuff, selfies and stuff, and then went back home without contacting you.
Yes.
And then a couple weeks later on a stream was like, no, I've been there, and like showed you all these photos, and that was the prank. Would you think it was funny, or would it have hurt your feelings?
It would have hurt my feelings for sure, and I would appreciate the prank on some level, but also because of the time and money that went into just pranking me and not visiting me, I would be upset. You know what I mean?
That's fair.
You know what I mean? But
if I took a bunch of pictures with your daughter, and then I went back home and I didn't contact you, and those
sold those pictures.
Like I'm at work and it's the summer, so she's like hanging out at home, and there's just pictures of you and like my daughter like playing Switch or like in the backyard playing catch or whatever.
Oh, so he thinks it would be funny.
Well, that's me laughing at how mad I would be.
That's a good response.
Darren was here.
I would come to London and take similar pictures.
This is getting weird.
That got weird. I'm sorry. That was weird.
The way you said it.
Yeah, it was weird because it sounded like I was like inferring that I would like do something horrible, but no, I'm just saying I would do the same thing and it'd be fun. But whatever. But no, I feel like the last few months, every time I stream, there's people, because I got on Sam and Nate's case once a few months back, or a couple times, for making South Dakota jokes, and it's like, it's not like all the jokes are merited, but living here, there is good stuff about it too, and to me, it's like, if you're gonna make a joke about it, at least like, because a lot of the jokes that people make about this place, a lot of times it's just like, oh, there's nobody here, and we're all rednecks. Great, it's like when people make a fat joke about me. It's like,
funny, though, dude. That's
funny.
What'd
you say?
I'm saying that's funny though.
Well, it's like how I've been fat on and off for a long time and decades, and it's like, at some point, like some fat jokes, it's like, when it seems like I'm offended, I'm actually just fucking bored. You know what I mean? It's like, oh my god, like we get it, So, because there is stuff to make fun of South Dakota for. A lot of them to me right now are, governmental. Like our governor, Chrissy Nome, is like a fucking maniac. Around the 4th every year, she just bitches about how they don't let us shoot off fireworks at Mount Rushmore anymore. So, like, she goes on and on about that shit while we're all like dying from COVID and addicted to meth. She's like, but we can't shoot fireworks at the mountain we stole from the natives. It's like, what about us dying though? Yeah.
Guys, I'm gonna have to log off pretty soon.
No, I drove Zach away with my rant. I'm sorry.
That's all right. All right,
I like how you didn't deny it.
No, I'm not. No, that's not why I'm getting.
I'm just kidding, man. I'm kidding.
It's been an hour and 45 minutes.
I know. I'm kidding. It's all good.
All right, you guys. Love you
It was
both.
good to see you
Love
guys.
you too, man.
Great to see you.
Adios.
Yeah,
Are we leaving right now?
guys.
Are you leaving too, Darren?
I am.
Okay.
Dude,
Hi, chat. All right. Well, I love you guys.
Love you too, guys.
Cindy, you should
Thanks,
stay on.
everybody in chat.
No, I'm gonna stay on for a second because people want me to read donos, so I'm gonna do donos.
All right. Good night.
Oh, there's a bunch. Jesus, they really came out tonight, man. Good job.
All right.
All right, so I'll read them real quick. Darren, you want to hear me do donos? It'll be like 2 more minutes.
Yes.
Okay, Gibberish Submitter donated $10. Says, hey guys, longtime watcher and fan. My fiance and I are getting married next weekend. Could Zach give us his best nonsense as a wedding gift? Thank you. Oh shoot, he just left.
Well, he can't.
I don't really know what that means. But anyways, so Pop Tart donated $20.
Hey.
Thank you. Happy Saturday. Love seeing you on Trailer Boys. When's Darren coming on? Well, Darren was on a few months ago for... Someone said they think you were on for foreign films? That sounds right. Sam Hamich 808... What, Darren? Sorry.
I don't remember. Maybe it was foreign films.
Sam Hamich donated $50 and said, you guys should play the game where you take turns naming movies an actor was in again. Easy mode Tom Hanks. Yeah, Zach and I did that once and it was fun. But thank you, Sam Hamich. $50. Holy shit. Baby Fark McGeezax donated $5. Says Zach should have ended the hospital story with, by the way, Darren biscuits are not cookies. Dark Queen Mia donated $15. Says thank you so much for hanging out, Zach. I'm sorry to hear you feel LA is at capacity. Well, I mean, it hasn't been that way for a long time, but anyways,
every city is at capacity.
Yeah, you know what's funny, and I could have mentioned this when Zach was here. We were talking about South Dakota and stuff. So what's funny about Zach being like, LA has too many people, and yeah, totally, yeah, obviously, and the South Dakota not having very many people. So, you know, the biggest city in South Dakota is Sioux Falls, which is about an hour and a half south of here, and they have right now with the little towns around Sioux Falls probably 200 some odd thousand people. So a city, but not huge. And there's people here who are like, I don't like to go to Sioux Falls. There's too many people. It's like, okay. And I'm like, bitch, you've never seen too many people. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. I mean, you're in London, which is a megalopolis, huh?
The mindset.
It is a mindset, but it's like, I mean, you know, one of my problems out here is like there's so many people who have decided, 100% concrete decided things, opinions and different states of mind and different things. Without ever having experienced any other kind of place. And I always say it's like they have a worldview that could fit on the head of a pin. You know what I mean? And so for someone who's from here to say Sioux Falls has too many people, it's like, yo, I mean, if you feel that way, okay, fine. But like, there are places that have way too many people.
Yeah.
London, New York, LA. What's the town in India that's just like totally fucking...
Dude, Calcutta.
Calcutta, yeah. Is it Beijing in China maybe too has way too many people? There's places that are just like fuck.
So many places.
They're so overcrowded.
America, I mean, it's still everything's dreamy in America.
Yeah, and
most places in the world where there's just like density, and like Bangladesh and
dude,
these insane places.
There's like cows. There's places, cities with infrastructure and government and a lot of people there, where the local water sources have cows shitting in the river and you get sick from drinking it. And then people complain here about like drag queens reading stories to children. And it's like, you are fucking out of your mind. You know what I mean? Like, it's insane. It's like,
that's
dude.
a really great Jon Stewart clip. I don't know if you watched that before.
Not lately, no.
He's doing an interview with, I think, like an Oklahoma senator. And the senator is against, you know, people dressed in drag reading to children, and it's a really awesome clip. He's like, you're protesting this, but it's about guns. He's like, but you think it's okay for the #1 killer of children in the
Yes,
world
I have seen that clip.
And he's like, well, Second Amendment.
Right. It's crazy.
You are the definition of a hypocrite.
Yeah, it's crazy. Someone says, there's places where lead pipes have poisoned the water supply, but here in America, oh, wait. Yeah, and that sucks that we do ignore places like Flint, Michigan and stuff. That is based on lazy infrastructure and lazy construction, which is a problem that India would love to have. You know what I mean? It's like, and yeah, that sucks too, but it's still it's a problem that comes from being developed, and there's still places with big cities that are not even that developed. So, you know, I think so much of it is
because, like, in India, like in some of those places in Calcutta or whatever, where people are just living on top of each other.
Yeah.
Like if for some reason India was like, hey, we're actually going to spend half the budget and we're going to put sanitation and pipes and plumbing everywhere. Like, how would they even do it?
Yeah.
Because everyone's just living on top of each other, like in these, it's insane.
It's like the house I bought. We're on a slab. We don't have any crawl space or a basement, so I can't put in AC. And it was a hot summer earlier. It's been great lately, so it doesn't matter. But I can never put in central air. And it's like, what if a whole fucking city was like that? You know what I mean? Like it's crazy. Like it's so old and so on top of itself that you can't do that. Like even in New York, you could figure it out because they have access to the underground, you know. But I mean, there's cities out there, you know, Southeast Asia too, where it's like families of 8 living in a fucking cardboard shack, basically. And it's for anyone to complain about stuff here, it's just like you guys are fucking out of your minds, you know. I mean, yeah, there is a, you know, good half of the country, third of the country trying to take away everybody's rights, but you know, we still have like electricity. You know, so.
All right, man, I gotta go.
Yep. Adios. Love you, buddy. See you later.
Love you too. Who's a good one? Bye,
you too, buddy. All right. Well, we're gonna wrap it up, folks. It's just about I don't know, 2 hours from when we started. Whatever time you're in. For me, it's almost 7. So, oh God, there's another clue. Implicate says, remember Trevor's song, It's Time for ... It's guillotines. And yes, I think about that shit all the time. I wrote a kind of a screed, a bit of a rant, if you will, on Twitter yesterday about the strike and stuff. And I definitely mentioned there that, like, when it comes to, if you live somewhere, which a lot of us do, me included, I just happen to have knowledge of the entertainment industry because I used to be in it. But, you know, a lot of places you don't understand the entertainment industry, which is fine. Why would you need to? But, you know, a lot of people during all these strikes are like, well, they're, you know, they already have money. What are they complaining about? Well, they don't, you know. And so a lot of them are broke as fuck too, just like us. And so the kind of idea I had there was like, you know, we're all fighting the same struggle. And the thing I kind of ended with was like, by the way, the struggle is billionaires and political corruption, you know. So, you know, Trevor's Time for Guillotines thing was accurate then. It's even more accurate now, and it's probably been accurate for hundreds of years, you know. So, I don't know. Implicate no warfare but class warfare. Yeah, you know, it's the people in power have done a very good job at just sicking us on each other's throats, you know. And sorry, I know I pooped out there for a second. Okay, but it's too bad, you know. It sucks. Anyways, let's raid somebody. You're gonna have to raid somebody. Girl Made of Cheese, great point to end on with this whole fucking thing. Pampered people don't strike in the first place. That's a really good point. All right, let's bring up Twitch and find somebody to raid. I finished that bottle of wine, which is probably why I got on this little rant that made all my friends leave. I mean, they had to leave anyways. But, you know, maybe it's an anxiety thing, because I have really, really, really bad anxiety I take medicine for. That's like, it makes you think when anything happens, it's because of something bad you did, right? I'm sure a lot of us can relate to that. So when those guys leave, then it's like, oh, it's because I was talking too much about South Dakota or politics or whatever, which is not the case. But I'm going to go to sleep thinking it was, you know. Bullshit. Okay, let's raid. Let's see what we can find. Someone said Raid Admiral Akbar. Was that some sort of very deep It's a Trap reference? Because I'm into it. Primary of which has whiskey helps with that. You know, I'm the only Whitest kid that can drink anymore. Trevor was still one, but we know how that went. So I've gotten into wine. I've gotten a little bit into bourbon. I haven't gotten bourbon, bought a bottle of bourbon in a long time now. But for a while there, I was kind of interested in that. And I've been more interested in wine lately. And yeah, you know, it's fun to kind of get into that stuff. When you can and like manage it. You know, it's interesting having a young kid. You know, I have a daughter who just turned 12. And it's interesting having someone who, you know, her other parent has gotten in trouble for different substance stuff. And I haven't, and so I can still, you know, sometimes we're hanging out having dinner or whatever, and I'll be like, I'm going to have some wine or a glass of whiskey or whatever, and just talk to her about like, yeah, you know, you just can. You know, if you're somebody who can keep it under control, you just can, and it's weird because a lot of people can't, you know. Okay. You know what? We're going to rate Dad Feels. Because Sam and Nate like to give me shit about Dad Feels. Because one time Dad Feels rated Trailer Boys right when we were trying to like finish up. And I got like all disturbed about it. But it wasn't because of Dad Feels. It was because of like other things that were happening. So anyways, I appreciate them very much. And looks like they're having something happening with an inflatable pool. So we're going to rate them. So that is starting now. Why not stay and hang out? Because I have a Marx Brothers movie to finish, and then I'm going to watch Crippled Avengers, a Shaw Brothers, Shaw Scope kung fu film. Also, I have chicken taco mix that just finished in the crock pot. I gotta go shred the chicken. I got stuff to do. So, and I don't generally like to answer questions that get spammed over and over in the chat, but since I just mentioned cooking, I mean, eventually I'll do Trailer Boys again, or Zucchini Boys again. It's been very, very long. I'll do it again, though. Anyways, no, you didn't miss out on Zucchini Boys. I just still cook and just don't do it, but I'll get back to it. Anyways, have a good night, everybody. Love you. Thank you for all the donations. Thank you for the support. It's been years, and, you know, as Zach said earlier, Mars is happening. It's going to... You know, it's a slow going, but it's going to get there, and it's going to be great. So thank you, everybody, for continuing to support us 1.5 million years into this thing after tragedy and time and everything else. So as I say, comedy equals tragedy plus time, so I guess that's why we're here. Anyways, have a good night. Love you guys, and be nice to Dad Feels. Tell him I said hi.